Well, do you know what? It's quite because that's what PTSD is. It's when people, it's chronic burnout.
Yeah.
It's when, and the only way that I can describe this to you is is harnessing fear.
Yeah.
Because what happens in the military, that's what PTSD is and chronic burnout. It's when you're in that fear bubble all the time. Okay, you can't live. Fear is a wretched thing. You can't live. People say you conquer. You don't conquer fear. It's knowing how to harness it, and I suppose it's the same with your industry. But I find bubbles. So what I do, I'll know when I go into a compound, for example. I know that once I've breached that compound, that first door that I come up to, there's a bubble. Okay, I know that when I get into that bubble, I know everything's going to go through the roof. My mind's going to be rattling. I know, but only. So when I'm running up to that bubble, I'm sort of in that clear zone. I think to myself, right, you're in the clear zone, and when you get into that bubble, you only stay in that bubble for 2 or 3 minutes when you're on target, for example. Okay, so I know that I'm going to go into that bubble. I'm going to kick the door down, boom, 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 and once that room's clear, that's me. I slip out of that bubble. Okay, and then I might run across the compound and think, right, there's the next door there. That's where my next bubble is. So what I've learned to do, through experience, I've learned to put myself in and out of those bubbles. And what people do is when they go on tour to Afghanistan, they go into that bubble and they stay in that bubble for fucking 6 months.
And that's amazing.
Okay, 6 months they stay in that bubble for. There's no need to stay in that bubble for 6 months, and that's when people come out and with chronic burnout, because they're in that bubble, they're in that fear, they're in that all the time, that it burns them out. That's what PTSD is. That's what chronic burnout is. And I had that through my first tour of Afghanistan. I was just like that, and to the point where I felt sick. You know, when I wanted to go on target, I felt something wasn't right. But then I'd learned how to harness that. You know, and I suppose it's learning how to harness your career. It's learning to know when time's serious and you need to step into that bubble. Yeah, step into that bubble. Do what you've got to do in that bubble, but know when it's time to step out of it. You know, when people are sleeping at night and you're up all night, they're not fucking up all night.
No.
So, you know, you're the person. So do you really need to be up and down? No, learn to step into that bubble and go, right, I'm in this bubble now, I need to get it done. And this is how the only way I can explain it really to chronic burnout. It's a good job you mentioned that, because that's what happens. You know, if you stay in that bubble for too long, yeah, you're gonna get chronic burnout. You just have to know and trust people around you and offload to your team or whoever it is some of that burden, because that's exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna burn out and you're create a beer, and you're gonna do exactly that. You're gonna burn out. And I've seen the best soldiers that I've looked up to and I've learned from come off a tour and they're chronic burnout. Foxy, great friend of mine, chronic burnout, just sick, and he just, you know, to a point where he couldn't go on tour because, you know, it was affecting him that much.